Welcome everybody to another installment of Cohort.
1986.
I'm Rodney,
I'm Candace.
and today we have a special guest, Miss Dana Sidberry.
Yeah.
Let's clap it up for her. I'm gonna read a brief bio from Miss Dana.
Yeah, please.
She is a unicorn, aka a native of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yes.
Graduating from Myers Park High School and furthering her education by attaining a bachelor's degree at Strayer University.
Nice.
Miss Sidberry comes from a family of entrepreneurs and was always taught to be loyal, humble, treat people right, and to help others in the value of hard work.
Oh, no, that's right.
Miss Sidberry is a passionate owner of motivation marketing firm specializing in entertainment, beauty, business, and public relations in an array of industries.
Wow.
And she's also been a part of the CIAA National Poetry Slam, the Dr. Martin Luther King Weekend, CBS Radio, the Bonner Brothers, and also you can see her on WCCB Rising, News Rising in the morning.
In the morning too.
Look, let me tell you a funny story. Funny story. I looked on TV one day. I said, "I know her. I don't know that's Dana. What you doing on TV?" But many people look to Dana for advice due to her expertise. She's often called the social media guru, the marketing maven, and Miss Marketing. Dana has a passion for helping others succeed and especially passionate about goal-oriented individuals.
Yeah, I'm just so glad to have you here. I've heard so much about Dana. I'm just like, oh yeah, my friend Dana, that's her on the news. That's her. She doing this party. She doing this. I'm like, man, I need to meet Dana. Dana is in Charlotte. So I want to welcome you to our platform today, lady.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm looking forward to our time together. And again, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for allowing us to interview you. We really do appreciate it. As
we know you be busy. You be busy.
Woman on the go.
We busy. I just want y'all to know I cooked dinner early. So
so that means we coming over your house.
Come on. Come on. We're eating healthy today. Come on.
So we want to give you an opportunity to just kind of introduce yourself.
Okay. Well, let's see here. So introducing myself. I really enjoy telling people that I'm from Charlotte, Dana Sidberry. And I enjoy that because we have so many transplants here in Charlotte, so whenever I meet somebody, I actually met a gentleman today, and he's new to Charlotte, and he has a restaurant in Gastonia. So he's like, where you from? And I'm like, I'm from Charlotte. He was like, what? I don't know, but I never. And I hear that all the time. And then a lot of people are like, where's your accent from? Like, where, I can't pick it up.
Right.
So, and a lot of people don't know, just in the vein of introducing myself, but a lot of people don't know that I'm an Army brat, and I have I've lived quite a few places. I've lived in Germany. I've lived in Texas. I've lived in Tennessee. So I'm very well cultured.
That's cool.
Awesome.
Yes. I have a diverse set of friends. And I don't need a stranger. That's the unicorn that you talked about.
Yes.
The stranger. So that's just a tidbit about me, and I just love to have fun. I love to laugh. I love to smile. Life sometimes gets so heavy. So I really just enjoy having a good time, and I think that's very important. Especially in today's society where so much going on.
Right.
I couldn't agree more.
And you mentioned just being from Charlotte. So how was it growing up in Charlotte and experiencing the vast changes over the years?
Yeah.
I got here 21 years ago.
Oh, here we go. Charlotte, y'all.
No.
We can give him a little bit of credit, but you can't claim it.
Look, I would never say I'm not from Charleston.
Okay.
That's where I'm from.
Okay.
But I met unicorns because I was here earlier.
Okay.
So how was it for you growing up in Charlotte?
So honestly, it's been a real transition, right? Mm-hmm. So everything, it seemed like it's just getting more and more spaced out.
Right.
You know, versus, you know, you just pop up over on the west side, on the east side, on the south side with no problem. Now you have to really plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you have to really like map out where you're gonna go, because it's gonna take at least 25 minutes to get wherever it is that you're going. You know, and you know, Charlotte has always been, I'm not gonna say small in terms of size, but it just always has been close knit. So you know, now that it's growing and everybody's just so far, is we, you know, us natives are just like, dang, you know, we kind of stick to our size and stick to our people. So, and it's funny because I still have a lot of I'm from the west side of town, from Clinton Park, stand up.
Okay.
So a lot of my family is still on the west side, and they're like, "Oh, girl, I live in the university." They're like, "Oh, it used to live so far away. I got to," you know. I'm just like four exits up from you. So you know, as a native, it's definitely something different that we have to kind of get used to, and we're getting used to it.
Gotcha. And so, how would you like describe your childhood growing up? Like, you mentioned you were from a family of entrepreneurs. Like, did that kind of like push you to your path now?
You know what? My family is very open. My family is very supportive. So they did not necessarily say, "Oh, well, you got to be an entrepreneur because that's what we are." Right. It was just almost like, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like my grandfather, bless his soul, he actually told us, you know, if you want to go to college, that's fine. But really, I want you to get a trade, because when you go to college, they can fire you. You know, when you have a trade, you can always fall back on that trade. You know, you can always, you know, go work in it, you know, whatever it is that you want to do. And that's my son that y'all just saw.
He was little.
Yeah, right. He ain't little no more. So you know, they didn't really steer us in the direction of entrepreneurship, but I just took heed to that information. Like when I graduated, I did go to school, but I ended up dropping out because I was just tired of school. Like I was tired of teachers. I was tired of desks. I was just sick and tired of everything. You know what I mean? Like, so I dropped out. I dropped out, but I ended up going to get my cosmetology license.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because again, you know, my grandfather told us to get a trade, and I've always been passionate about hair. Like I love the hair industry. I am not, even when I went to school, I am not in the salon all day long. I'm not a person that can be refined to a space for all day long. As you can see, I'm just so, but I, you know, in school, I knew that I was going to do something in the hair industry. I knew I was going to be a stylist. Yeah. But I got that, knocked that out. And then my uncle, who owns a bail bond company, he opened up his business. And so I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and get my bail bond license. My mother, she had a bail bond license when we lived in Texas. So I mean, she had a bail bond company. So in Texas, I was a bail bondsman. So I said, might as well do it here too. Wow. And then I ended up going back to school.
Wow. So I wanna just take some time to kind of like unpack that.
Okay.
So you wanted to be a cosmetologist first.
Okay.
And then you went into your bail bondsman. So like, what was that transition like for you? Like, you know, what was kind of the inspiration behind starting with cosmetology and then just kind of switching over to bail bondsman?
Okay, so I have always wanted my own salon.
Right.
Okay.
You know, this just, I guess it's just the business background in me, and I'm a lover of people. So you know, that's another huge aspect of being in the beauty industry. And just, you know, I do like to do hair. I like to do lashes, but I just don't like to do that stuff all day. I just don't. And at that time, my grandfather, you know, he told me, he said, well, if you want a salon, I'll buy you a salon, but you have to go and get your license first. So I said, okay, that's not a problem. I'll go and do it. So I went and got into school, and he unfortunately passed. before I could finish school. So, but he does know that I did get into it. He just didn't know that I finished it. So that was that. And then as far as bail bonding, like I said, my family, my mom and my stepdad, they had their own company in Texas.
Right.
So after high school, my bae and we moved to Texas right out of high school. Like we graduated June. We were in Texas in August, like right out of high school.
Oh, wow.
Like really. Honey, we were gonna get married and all this. Like we had plans, okay?
Yes.
So we went to school and my mom was like, okay, well, y'all can help us with the company.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're gonna need some help getting the people out of jail. So I was like, okay, no problem. So I got licensed, he got licensed, and we were there in Texas for a year. Mm-hmm. We got our license. We started community college there too. I quit first. He quit first. We wanted to lay up and be grown, you know. First apartment, you know. You know. So we quit school, but we did keep our bail bond licenses, and we did, you know, work in that, and we worked other jobs and stuff too. But he got homesick. And I wanted to bring him back home. Okay. Yeah. So we came back to Charlotte.
Oh, wow.
And we broke
up. He came back to Charlotte and broke up.
And we broke up. So when we came back to Charlotte and broke up, that's when I went and got into hair school. And then my uncle, he opened up his bail bond company. So right after I finished cosmetology school, let me say the proper term. After I finished cosmetology school, my uncle opened up his bail bond company. So I just went and got my license to help him. And that was in 2003. And I know I'm telling my age. No. But that was in 2003.
We right there with you. We right there with you. We're the neighborhood.
But see, if anybody asks y'all, I'm 28. Okay.
Got you, 28.
Okay. So yeah, he opened up, and I got my bail bond license really just to help him. And so from 2003 until it's 2021 now. He closed his company in 2018. And I opened my own company in 2019.
Awesome.
So just you know, a little bit of legacy building in there, and you know, just keeping it in the family.
And so, what's the process for kind of getting a bail bondsman's license?
So now, at that time, really the only thing that you had to do was just really take the class and then take a test, and that's it. Okay. But now they have it to where you actually have to go up under a bail bondsman as an apprentice for about, I think, 2 years. Then you have to take, it's a long process because it's it's oversaturated. Everybody's a bail bondsman now.
Gotcha.
It's oversaturated. So, you know, they had to put something in the game to kind of slow that down, you know.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I enjoy it. You know, I'm even though I was a bail bondsman for so many years, I was only helping them. So now I'm the boss.
Right.
Yeah, everything falls on my shoulders. I'm just like, ooh, let me figure
all this.
Right. These criminals get on my nerves so bad, just don't make no sense. But we do have some good clients. Like we really do.
Gotcha.
That's really cool.
So I want to fast forward to 2009, 2010, when you opened Motivation Marketing. So what made you get into marketing, and why Motivation Marketing?
Okay. All right. So I love that question, and thank you for asking that. So, so I went to Mines Park, and I had a marketing teacher there by the name of Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith was awesome. Mr. Smith made sure I was in DECA every year. He made sure that I was always doing something, you know, marketing wise, and he was teaching us all this stuff. And you know, at that time, it wasn't any social media. You know, it was on the phone book. Like it was only, you know, making your own flyers. Like it wasn't a whole bunch of Photoshop and all this kind of stuff. So he kind of taught me a lot of the mechanics. But even with that being said, my family, they are all entrepreneurs. So it was pretty much like I was already helping them, with their marketing materials, spreading the word, putting things out for them. But of course, I still didn't put 2 and 2 together. So when I realized what it all was, because marketing is so broad, right? Anybody who has a business, marketing concentration degree, they'll tell you it's so broad, it's so much that you can do. So you don't really know that you're doing marketing until you're doing marketing.
Right.
When I realized that, that's when I went to school. That was what, I don't know. I don't want to tell my age no more. So, so that's when I decided that I wanted to go to school. And I did go, for business administration with a concentration in marketing and PR. But nobody would hire me, right? So I was working at during cosmetology school. I was working on night shift at CMC, which is now Atrium Healthcare System. And I will always do my research and just try to figure out who I needed to talk to in the marketing department, because that's just always my passion. Like I will always want to just help. I want to volunteer and give a damn. Like, I don't know if I can cuss, but I was just like, whatever I gotta do, like I want to get into it. So fast forward to after graduating cosmetology school and getting my degree and everything like that, I started working at Novant. At that time, it was Presbyterian. Rodney and I used to work together. Shout out to him. We'll work in the building, okay?
The building with the head.
So during that time, I was actually in college, and I would still, do my research, and I would actually at that time just send out emails, my resume to folks that was in the department, because we had access to our coworkers. So I would email the director. Like I was just really, hustling, trying to get into the department, but they would never hire me. And, in healthcare, it's a lot of marketing. It's a lot of billboards and radios, and they just always in your face, and I just loved it. I was like, I got to get in. So then I would start trying to get in with the other marketing agencies, but nobody would hire me. Nobody would hire me. So I started doing some research and kind of, just figuring out, Googling what in the world is the situation? Like, why is nobody hiring? And then I came across something, and they were just talking about the lack of diversity in marketing departments and agencies. And I'm like, so you're trying to tell me these people don't want to hire me because I'm Black? Is that what it is? And at that point, I said, okay. Like it just made all the sense. Like it just made all the sense. And then, just if you guys can think back to what has happened over the years, like the stuff that happened with Gap with the monkeys on it, and just a lot of culturally insensitive things that happen marketing wise. It's because we don't have seats at the table.
That's it. Dana, I want to pause real quick. I want people to understand what you just said. You were in a situation, right? So you were working, but you still were working on your dream. And I think that's something that people forget, that sometimes people get so caught up in working and, I'm going to, give you my sweat, my tears, my everything. And they forget about themselves. But, your perseverance, your push, the way that you kept going at it, your emailing, the calling, knocking on these doors. And then, finally coming to say, okay, well, maybe this is the problem.
Right.
And then also just like, instead of looking at like you wanted a seat at the table. Yeah. And you was like, damn it, I'm just going to build my own table. That's what you did.
That's it. Because I knew that, okay, if this is happening to me in this capacity and I'm on the outside, who is helping my people with their businesses? Like who helps us to get our business out? If they don't want me to help them to work for them, they definitely don't want to help us to get our stuff out.
Right.
You know, and honestly, like I said before, I'm an Army brat, so I have lived and you know, been a lot of places and around a lot of people and stuff like that. So I'm not this pro-black, you know, none of this. It like I said, it did not dawn to me that they just didn't want me at the table. So once I realized that, that's exactly what I did. I said, you know what, I'm gonna just go do that to help my people, you know. And actually 95% of my clientele has been African American. I've had some white clients before, but 95% of my clients have been Black.
Wow.
And so kind of talk a little bit about that process of just kind of stepping out on your own.
Okay.
You know, what was it like, you know, kind of starting your business, starting your firm, and kind of gaining clients?
So I have a funny story. So I don't really think that you were there yet, Rodney, but when I started where we were working at in Novant, I had just got over there. It was we did physician billing in the business office. And I had just got over there. So I'm one that I don't like to sit at work. Because, you know, like I said, I don't like to be confined to spaces. I'm a butterfly. I need people. I thrive on contact. So at that time, they wanted us to be on the phones for 8 hours a day. And I had a boss. Well, we had a boss that just had an issue with me. Like, she had a real issue with me. So it was a lot of tension there. And I had just got married and my son was a baby. He was 3 years old. My husband was, you know, already, he was on dialysis. My dad was sick and I was taking care of him. Like, I just had a lot going on. Like, I had a lot. FMLA. I had 2 FMLAs for those that know about that work. You know, so I had just got married. A lot of people gave me PTO because I will always use my PTO. I would never at work. So I just looked at it and I said, something has got to give. I'm not being fulfilled. My boss don't like me. I don't like her. I don't want to talk to her. She don't want to talk to me. You know, I'm laughing. I'm having a good time with my coworkers, but I'm not being fulfilled. I'm aggravated. I'm tired. When I go home, my family, I don't want to talk to them for at least an hour. You know, it was just a real thing. And like I said, I was a newlywed. So one day I came home after we got married, of course. And I told my husband, I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to quit my job and start my own agency. And he was like, he looked at me like, what the hell are you talking about? What you mean? Like, we had just got married. We had just bought a house. Like, and then on top of that, that was 2008. That was the recession. Like, George Bush and Obama had just got in office. Like, literally, we closed on the house in like April. And I quit the job in August. And like I said, we were in the middle of a recession. So he was just like, I don't think that's the right thing to do. And I'm like, but this is what I'm going to do. Like, this is what's getting ready to happen. Like, and I'm very, like, this is my goal. This is what's getting ready to happen. Put your big guy drawers on, put your seatbelt on.
Get ready.
And I told him, I said, you know, out of all these things, I got a hair license, I got a bail bond license, I got a degree. I said, out of all these 3 things, we'll be okay. And God will always provide, you know, we're going to make it work.
Yes, he will.
So 11 years later, I'm still in the game.
Wow.
That is awesome. That is so awesome. And so motivation marketing. So like, what products and services do you offer?
So, okay, with motivation marketing, we focus on marketing, advertising, public relations, and it's one more, marketing, advertising, public relations, and event planning, right? So we just really help our clients to get the word out. And I came up with the name of motivation marketing because in order to do your business day in and day out, you have to be motivated. Like you have to have some type of motivation. Like you have to. There's days that you don't want to do shit. Yeah. You know, I mean, I don't mean to be vulgar or anything like that, but as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you just sometimes don't want to do it. Right, but you have to muster up that motivation. You have to push to get it done. And with a lot of my clients, like we have heart to hearts, and they tell me, I just don't know if I can do it. I just don't know, if this is for me. This is just not working. So I have to kind of push and remind them of, what it is, why they started. And my tagline is motivation marketing, the flame that starts the fire. Wow. So it's just like that push. And once once that fire starts and then it just flames up, that's usually the process of marketing. And you get your training wheels and you get to going and you finally ride.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's.
And so I have to ask you, like, why is, a presence on social media like so important these days?
That's a really good question. So social media is like your business card now. It's like the bare minimum that you should have as a business owner. It's very important because it's another form of mouth. What is it? I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Not mouth to mouth, but y'all, I'm drawing a blank. Help me. Referrals and referrals. Word of mouth. It's social media. That's what social media is. It's another form of word of mouth marketing. And we all know that you can't. Any marketer will agree that you cannot beat word of mouth marketing. You just can't.
Right.
You just can't. So that's the importance of social media. Like it's another platform. I like to tell people that your website, your social media is like your home away from home. Like people can go to your house and see what you up to, what you got going on, but you need to make sure that you have social media and that it is inviting for them to come in and stick around and kind of look and see what you have going on. So it's very important.
So what is it like what goes into like being a part of big events like the CIAA,
Bronner Brothers, like that's huge.
That's huge. Like
CIAA,
Urban Times magazine, like what goes into partnering with those big organizations and actually planning things with them?
So with a lot of those events and outlets that you mentioned, the main thing is kind of going in with a servant heart. Some of those things I started when I was first starting my business. Right. Like I grind. Okay. So when I was starting my business, it was just like, let me just get my foot in the door. Let me learn. Because remember, nobody would let me in. Nobody would give me the opportunity to learn with them. Nobody would, it's one thing to get the knowledge at school, but we all know that you don't know what you're doing until you get your feet wet.
Need to be applied.
So, just working with the DNC, the Democratic National Convention. I actually, and I hate to kind of dim the light on this, but I signed up to work on a DNC when it came to Charlotte, which was, it was huge here, But my father, he passed the week before.
Oh, wow.
Gosh, I'm sorry to hear
that. Thank you. So I had finished working on a national poetry slam, buried my father, and then I went to work at the DNC. Like I was just like, I am not missing this opportunity. I am not going to not take this opportunity to learn, to be with these people that are from everywhere. I was on the social media team with the DNC, just helping them to make posts, create content on what was going on, and whoever was speaking that particular day. Like I'm in there like this. Oh, so this is really how it happens. Like, like literally, I was like, "Ooh, I'm so excited! I'm so excited!" And my supervisors were like 20. And at that time, I was 21. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah. You almost got me. I was with that. So they were telling me what to do. And usually people that have an issue with younger people telling them what to do, it would be an issue. But with me, I was like, okay, what else you want me to do? I did that already. What's next? I did it. I was just grateful for the opportunity. So getting back to your question, it was just a lot of times it was just pretty much linking up with whomever was doing, whatever event that I wanted to be a part of, and just asking them, how can I help? What can I do? What do you need? And then I got to the places to where I was starting to be paid, because I'm in their network and I'm talking to people. Like I just love people and I love to talk, as y'all can see, so just meeting these people and getting these contacts is so important. And it's so funny because one of my first events was the Charlotte Fashion Week.
Oh, wow.
And I attended one day as a guest, and I was all like, foo, but nobody would talk to me. But the next day I came back as a volunteer, everybody would talk to me.
Wow.
And I'm like, so everybody wants to talk to the help, but as an attendee, nobody wants to talk to me because I'm me and I'm in the building and I'm just, you know what I mean? Like, y'all know how it is. Like, oh, don't talk to me. I'm in VIP,
Right.
I'm just like, what's wrong with people? Like, what's wrong with people? But, it was just, I always go in with a servant heart to learn, to really just figure out how I can help, how I can be an asset. And then we get to the money. Like being a business owner and an entrepreneur, the way that you sustain yourself is not to chase the money.
Right.
That's the key. The money will always come as long as your heart is in the right place and you're a good person. The money always come. We have not missed a payment here. The cable, I think the cable's cut off like twice. I've always had a car payment, no repos, and that's because we're blessed, of course, but more than anything, I'm always a servant. I'm always willing to help. I'm always willing to be there. Don't worry about money. We'll figure it out. You know what I mean?
Wow. That was so powerful.
Yeah.
When you think about, this world and you think about learning, you have to go in with a servant heart. Even if you have the book knowledge, right? Until you have something that's applied or projects that you can work on and work through, that's how you build your credibility. So
exactly right.
That was good. I hope that somebody catches just that part about having that servant heart and going in with the right intentions and being willing.
That's right.
And like you said, working for someone that was younger, it gave you an opportunity for exposure. Like, here's some things that I may not have known about because I know that's how I am. Every time I have an opportunity, I'm like, okay, what is this? How does it work?
Yeah. And that has definitely sustained me. Like, just early on, I think you asked me, how I got my clients, and it would be like, I would know a person that started a business. And I was fresh off of being unemployed. Like I cold turkey, didn't have anything saved, just cold turkey. So I would tell them, look, I got a husband. I need to keep the lights on. I need to keep my son fed.
Yeah.
So let's figure it out. What's your budget? A lot of people hate that question, but like, what can you afford? And we're going to make people to do. And that's exactly how I started my client. Like, my business, like, we're going to figure it out. Let me get something and we're going to figure it out because I knew I was learning. You can't charge people $1 million and you don't know what you're doing,
Say it again for somebody.
You can't charge $1 million and you don't know what you're
doing. You don't know what you're doing. Okay.
Even when you're faking it till you're making it, faking it till you make it, like you said, there's still a credibility on the line.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't be a marketing rep, a marketing consultant, and the word is getting out. She don't know what she's doing, but she charged me $1,000. You know,
Right.
No, but now, so you better bring your bag, okay? Because I know a little something. All right, I know a little something.
So
I love it.
Speaking of bringing the bag, so when was that moment that you realized, like, hey, I'm pretty good at this?
So that's hard because I get so busy just making everything happen.
Yeah.
That sometimes I kind of just have to really sit down with myself to really realize everything that I've done. And I haven't. But I will say, just really getting on the news, I think.
Right.
You know, they don't just let anybody come on. And, you know.
That's correct.
Yeah, so tell us about that. I mean, how is it being a TV personality?
I know, right? We got celebrity.
I feel like we need an autograph. Can you sign?
We were vibing until y'all did that. Like we were really vibing until y'all did that. We were really vibing. But I mean, you know, it's been really fun. I don't have any experience, you know, in TV. You know, they had to tell us everything that we needed to do, and you know, but I was allowed to be myself, and that's what I like. The young lady, shout out to Nomi. I just really, and this is the power of social media. I was doing something, but I would see news rising and social media, you know, new couch chat. And I was like, who is this and what is this about on Twitter?
Mm-hmm.
So I DM'd the girl and I'm like, hey, you know, this is what I do. I'm, you know, marketing PR, you know, here's my website, you know, here's my, can I email you my resume type thing? And she just did her research. I didn't even send her my resume. She did her research and she just asked a couple people and just knowing some of the other news anchors there that had covered some of my clients. And this is where credibility plays a part. She spoke to them and was like, you know, I got this girl, Dana Sidberry, Motivation Marketing. They vouched for me.
Wow.
One of them came to me and was like, hey, you know, I heard them speaking about your name and I told them that you would be perfect for couch chat. You have the best personality. And I'm like, thank you. You know, I had already hit her up. But I thank you for approval. And like 2 weeks later, she hit me back up.
Wow.
So that's the long answer to your short question. Like that's when I was like, okay, I'm on to something here. Like I really have a good name out here. Like people really, I'm trusted and I'm creditable and people know that I'm serious and I have a good time.
Right.
That's when I think that's when it was pretty much like, and honestly, a lot of people don't even know, like I was doing that at the time that I started, it was unpaid. I was on the news for like 3 years.
Wow.
No pay.
Wow.
No pay.
Wow.
So what was it like being on set? Like, you know, what was like that first time that you were like on the couch? What was that experience like for you?
The first time I was nervous. Oh my God. I'm like, I don't know what in the world. How did I get here, Dana? What did you do? Like, what are you gonna say? Like, you know, I forgot who I was on with. I was so nervous, but they were like, just breathe, just take your time. And I when I get nervous, I stutter. It's a family trait, so I stutter. I'm like, what if I start stuttering? And I did.
Right.
I was like, oh, I don't want to be too shiny. You know, I did my own makeup. Okay, like, woo, nerves. So, but it all worked out. Like I said, they allowed me to be myself.
Right.
I was the one that was always having a big belly laugh, mouth all open, laughing, rear back like I'm doing now, just having a good time.
Yeah.
And they enjoyed that energy that I brought to the show, and that's how I was able. I think I did it for, it was 5 years, and I say did it because during COVID, of course, they had we couldn't go into the studio, so it's been it's been a full year. They should be bringing us back in soon.
Wow.
But I did couch chat for 5 years.
Wow. Oh, wow. That's so cool. I mean, just to be able to see, your face there, amongst others. I mean, it's just amazing just to hear that, hey, you need to DM somebody one day. You literally shot your shot and was like, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do.
Your guy said goes down in the DMs.
That's right. And it did. It definitely did. And that's just going back to your question about social media. That's why it's so important to watch what you put on social media and be strategic about how you use social media. Right. It's for entertainment, yes, but it's so much more than entertainment. Like I can honestly say that I make money with social media. Like
that is awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. And so I got a question. So for new entrepreneurs, you're a Bell's Bond lady. You hairdressing, motivation marketing. So PR. Social media, everything. The actual unicorn.
Yeah, we're forgetting some stuff.
Actual unicorn.
So what would be your advice for new entrepreneurs just trying to jump into the game?
My advice would be to focus on being consistent. My advice would be to focus on the long game versus the quick game. My advice would be to work on perfecting your business, right? But that doesn't mean it should be perfect when you start.
Right.
Because if you look at like Coke, Pepsi, they reinvent themselves, from back when Coke was putting drugs in the Coke. You know what I mean?
It's true.
Like, they always reinvent themselves. And I think sometimes we as entrepreneurs and business owners, we like to have everything perfect. And we like to launch and rebrand and rebrand. But don't do it prematurely. You have to grow like a baby. The baby just doesn't walk out and just, I'm here. That baby has to grow. That baby has to be nurtured, has to be fed, has to be taken care of. And that's what your business is. Your business is your baby. Right. So you have to grow it. You have to nurture it. You have to take time with it.
Yeah.
And I think that would be my advice. Just take your time with it. It doesn't have to be perfect right now, but definitely take the time to perfect it.
Yeah. That's a good point.
That's great advice.
So I do have to ask, what has been one of your favorite events that you've done over the years?
Gosh, I wasn't prepared for that. One of my favorite events.
If you don't say one, you say I just totally forgot you.
No. You know what? Honestly, my favorite events are my events that I do with my client, Lucky Spot Barbershop. He is the first African American owned and operated barbershop in Walmart. But
clap it up.
He's getting ready to open up his third location in Columbia in about a week or two.
Oh, that is dope. That's dope.
And then moving on to Georgia in the fall.
Wow.
But, But what actually drew me into him and to his business was the gift of community service, and just again that servant heart that he has, that he was doing for the community. And I'll tell you real quickly, one of my other clients, shout out to Nico. He's a radio personality. with Power 98 at that time. And
Nice.
he would always tell me, oh, you need to hook up with Lucky. You need to hook up with Lucky. He's doing this in the community. He's doing this. And I'm like, who is this person? Who is this person? Like, I got my post in the community, but who is this person? Yeah. And then another young lady that was bringing me aboard to help her. Mm-hmm. He was her client at that time, and she was like, you need to meet him. You need to meet him. Like, just take me to this person. Like, just take me to this person. And I actually met him at his event, which was a health fair.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, oh, this is dope. You know, it had blood pressure checks and giving out condoms, and it was just all free for the community.
Wow.
And just, you know, just giving back. And then he had a big event, which is his staple event, which is book bag drive. Mm-hmm. And that was at one of the rec centers. And I went there just actually visiting my client, just, you know, checking on him, doing what I do, and realizing that was the Lucky Spot event. So I'm like, okay. I walked in and it was kids everywhere and book bags everywhere. And I was like, this is dope. And I just went ahead and rolled my sleeves back. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. You know? Yeah. So those are my events. And he gives out turkeys. And I just really enjoy, you know, just giving back to the community. Just really enjoy. I've always been like that. Always community service driven, giving back, you know, taking care of people. So I would have to say that's my favorite event.
Wow. And I would say thank you to what he's doing, you know, not only in the community, but, you know, showing up for kids.
Right.
You know, it's just so important, like with literacy rates and everything else that we have going on in education.
Quick question. Is Lucky involved with Cops and Barbers?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I thought it was familiar.
Yes. But I will tell you my second event was that I love was a CIAA event when Michael Vick just got out of prison.
Oh wow.
Me and some of my friends, we put together this entertainment group. So we threw a party for CIAA, and he was one of our headliners.
Wow.
And actually, he was fresh out of jail, like a month or two out of jail. So he came through and we paid him. I forgot what we paid him, but it was like $12,000, I think, $15,000 for him to do the appearance.
Yeah.
When I say they acted crazy. We had the Bad Girls Club in there. Like I still have.
Wow.
Like we had, like, it was a real, it was wall to wall. We had, that was my other favorite, like entertainment wise, that was my favorite. But they standing up on couches, you know, that was like the beginning of couch culture. You know what I mean? That was the beginning of disrespecting couches, okay? I'm like, what are y'all doing? Because the venue was very exquisite. Like, it was a really nice venue. Like, what are y'all doing? They pouring champagne everywhere. And I'm like,
oh my God.
And again, this is pre-Instagram. So it was crazy. What are y'all doing? But we had such a good time. You know, in hindsight, it was a good time. So I would have to say that would be my second one.
That's cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So Miss Dana, what's next for you?
What's next for me? So you know what? I'm actually in the middle of a lot of collaboration. Okay. I think now is my season to collaborate with a lot of individuals, right. And I have that in the way of a couple of contracts, right? Mm-hmm. So that's one thing. And when I say collaboration, I'm enjoying that because Candace and I were talking before we started filming about just how we don't support each other, how we don't help each other, how we don't mentor each other. And so I'm happy to say that I have a couple of collaborations and contracts with other marketing agencies and Black women, you know, agencies, and we're working together on a lot. And I'm very happy with that. I'm very proud of that. And even on the bail bonding side, I met another female bondsman
Good.
She just really, you know, poured into me, and you know, like everybody wants to recruit me to their team. So I wasn't surprised with that, but she was just like, I want to help you. I want to help you, and I know that you're going to help us. So let's put this together and just continue to take over. So that's another collaboration, and I think that's just my season right now of collaboration, and I'm all for it because, you know, sometimes as an entrepreneur, when you're trying to do it all on your own, it gets quiet, it gets lonely, overwhelming.
Right.
So that's what's next for me right now is collaboration.
That's awesome. I'm just so excited, you know, for what the future holds for you, because I mean, you have so much that you bring to that table that you created.
Thank you.
The table that you created by using your talents and allowing your talents to be used in those different settings. So I'm happy for you. I celebrate you. I'm happy about what you're doing and what you're going to continue to do in the community, because it's needed. It's important.
Needed. It's valuable. It's needed.
You know, especially, you know, when we start to talk about social media, public relations, marketing, and how to really key in on that diversified, you know, market. So that's great, man.
Thank you.
That's great.
So Dana, I want you to plug all your social media and where everybody can find you at.
Okay. All right. So it's on my name. Let me see right here.
Right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yep.
See how I did that? I did that. Yeah. So it's right there. That's Instagram and Twitter, Motivation MKTG. And on Facebook, we are Motivation Marketing Firm. So it's all spelled out on Facebook. But like I said, that's Instagram, Motivation MKTG. That's Twitter. Website is Motivation Marketing Firm.
Okay.
And I think that's it.
Okay. And before I let you go, I want you to expound on this quote.
Okay.
Stay ready. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
Simply put, if you're already ready, you don't have to get ready. Like it's funny because I tell my son that all the time. Like, and it works in all settings.
Yeah.
If you know you have to be somewhere early in the morning, go ahead and get yourself ready so you don't have to get ready in the morning. You know what I mean? Like, if you know that you want to, like, you have a goal of being an entrepreneur, for those that are trying to get into it, go ahead and start getting your resume together, getting your business cards together. Like, so when that opportunity hits, you don't have to scramble. You don't have to find, you know, everything. You're already ready. Like, you're already, you know, it may not be in tip-top shape, but you're already ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you know that you need to go somewhere tomorrow and you gas up the car now, so you know you don't have to get ready. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you stay ready, then you're always ready, and you don't have to get ready.
Right.
And
I'm gonna tell you how else they can stay ready. They can contact you.
Okay. Contact me, honey.
Get your marketing together, your social media presence, and just, you know, branding in general. Please reach out.
This is the woman to get in contact.
Yes, please reach out to Dana, and her information will be located on our site. Cohort 1986. So if you go to our community page, you can find all kinds of resources there. So Dana's information will be there for a marketing firm. We have accountants, we have financial advisors, we have credit repair therapists, and so much more.
So much more. And then also, if you want to listen to this podcast, you can find us on YouTube. Facebook, Instagram, IG, Twitter,
all that.
Apple Pods, Google Pods, Breaker, Anchor, and then one day when we get an intern, TikTok, because I don't know how to use it. I'm too old for that.
Interns, please hit us up, please.
TikTok and Twitch. Look,
we need y'all.
Teach me.
You know what? I'm actually going to forward you guys an email for interns. There's a company called guardhouse, and they are looking for internships. Internships for their college students, and it is paid. They paid their interns. So
nice. Yes.
I'll connect you guys. I'll pull that to y'all.
Yes.
Look at her pouring into us.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Of course.
And Dana, do you have any final words before we go?
Let's see here. For those that are, wanting to start their business, for those that have started their business, for those that are ready to close their business, for those that are just ready to continue to make all the money, just keep pushing. Just keep going. Just keep doing what you got to do. For those that are ready to close your business, go ahead and close if that's what you want to do, because you can always reopen. It's nothing is ever final unless you make it final.
That's so good.
Those would be my final words. And of course, thank you to Rodney and Candace, Cohort 19, for inviting me, for having me. And that's it.
Let the church say amen.
I feel like we're on the road runner.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for Dana for being the guest.
Thank you.
Check out Motivation Marketing.
Yes.
And you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Thank you.